The pain of losing something is psychologically twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining the same thing. Your brain is not a rational calculator, it's a loss avoidance machine. Imagine someone offers you a coin flip. Heads, you win $100. Tails, you lose $50. Mathematically, that's a good bet. You stand to gain twice what you risk. But most people refuse it. Not because they're bad at math. Because the potential loss of $50 creates more psychological discomfort than the potential gain of $100 creates pleasure. This asymmetry between how much we hate losing and how much we love winning shapes every financial decision you've ever made, every relationship you've stayed in longer than you should have, and every project you've refused to abandon even when the evidence said to quit. Loss aversion is the cognitive bias describing the tendency for people to prefer avoiding losses over acquiring equivalent gains. It was identified by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky as part of prospect theory, published in 1979, work that would eventually earn Kahneman the Nobel Prize in economics. The key finding: losses are felt approximately twice as powerfully as gains of the same magnitude. This means that losing $100 doesn't just feel bad, it feels roughly as bad as gaining $200 would feel good. The brain weighs losses and gains on asymmetric scales, and the loss scale is heavier. Kahneman and Tversky presented participants with hypothetical bets and measured how people evaluated risk. They found a consistent pattern. People would take more risk to avoid a certain loss than to secure a certain gain of the same size. In one version, participants were asked to choose between receiving $500 for certain or a 50% chance of receiving $1,000 and a 50% chance of receiving nothing. Most people chose the certain $500, even though both options have the same expected value. The certainty of gain felt safer. Then the framing flipped. Participants were asked to choose between losing $500 for certain or a 50% chance of losing $1,000 and 50% chance of losing nothing. Now most people chose the gamble, accepting the possibility of a larger loss to avoid the certainty of a smaller one. Suddenly, the same people who were risk-averse in gains became risk-seeking in losses. The brain treats loss and gain as completely different kinds of events, and the loss event is so much more aversive that it distorts risk evaluation entirely. Sunk cost fallacy is loss aversion's most destructive application. You've already put $10,000 into a business that's clearly not working. Every rational signal says quit, but quitting means acknowledging the loss. Keeping going means you haven't lost yet, you're still in the game, so you keep going, and the hole gets deeper. This isn't stupidity. It's loss aversion doing exactly what it does. The money already spent creates an emotional anchor that makes cutting losses feel worse than the forward cost of continuing. The same thing happens in relationships. You've been with someone for 5 years. Things aren't working. But 5 years. What does leaving mean about those 5 years? Leaving feels like losing them, so you stay. Not because the future looks good, but because leaving forces you to book the loss on the past. In investing, loss aversion explains why people hold losing stocks too long and sell winning ones too soon. Selling a loss is painful, it makes the loss real and final. Holding on keeps it theoretical. So people hold, and the loss compounds. The first step is recognizing that loss aversion is operating in any decision where you feel more driven by what I don't want to lose than what I could gain. That feeling, that pulling dread, is the bias at work. The second step is reframing the decision forward. Instead of asking, what do I stand to lose by changing course? Ask, if I were starting from scratch today with no prior investment, what would I choose? If the answer is different from what you're currently doing, that difference is the sunk cost talking. The past expenditure doesn't change the quality of future outcomes. The third step, used by professional investors and decision scientists, is to set predefined exit rules before you enter any commitment. Decide in advance. At what point and under what conditions will I walk away? Make that decision when you're calm and rational, not when you're in the middle of the loss. The predecision protects you from the in-the-moment distortion. Loss aversion kept your ancestors alive. When staying in a known territory was safer than leaving for the unknown, the brain that hated losing its current position survived. But in modern life, the bias works against you constantly, keeping you in jobs, relationships, investments, and habits that cost you more by staying than leaving would ever have. Knowing this doesn't remove the discomfort of loss. It gives you a way to see it for what it is, a signal, not a verdict. Drop a comment. What's something you've stayed in longer than you should have, purely because leaving felt like losing? No judgment. And subscribe, new psychology breakdown every single week.